Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Yes, I know my hair is doing crazy things, trackies, but yeah, I like to let it give it a break. When I take some braids out. So with that said, never mind the pitney hairstyle. What a torrid time a lot of our up and coming athletes have had this 2023 season in terms of injuries. It has been crazy now. A lot of the young guns that we've been looking out for, to build on what happened, hopefully the year before, it didn't really materialize for them this season. And, if I forget some of the names, I really do apologize. But speaking mainly to athletes such as Tia Clayton, Brianna Liston, talking about Stacey Ann Williams. We're talking about, Kemba Nelson, Kerrica Hill, Abby Steiner, from over the pond as well. Trackies, these athletes really come to mind, off the bat. There are a few others, that still made it to the World Championships, but were carrying injuries as well. But because they made it, I didn't really add them to this list. But with that said, still, it has been a torrid time, as it relates to our athletes and injuries. Now, when I look at a particular athlete such as a Tina Clayton, she, ran at 10.95 seconds. And of course, everybody's, super excited for her future and the prospects, for stepping into the fold and becoming a dominant force for Jamaica in sprinting, especially on the back of, a lot of people talking about our Jamaican athletes are, on the older side of things. You know what I mean? So a lot of athletes are looking to her, to step into that fold, as well as her sister, looking to, step into that fold as well. And I shouldn't say her sister, I should just say her name, Tia, as well, looking for her to step into that fold. And then we look at a Brianna Liston, that, won the World Juniors in the 200 meters. So Tina won in the 100, and of course, Brianna won in the 200. And we're looking for her as well, an athlete that has gone 22.5 already. Then we look at an athlete such as a Kerrica Hill, you know what I mean, has already gone, 12 sevens. And we're like, look here. And I'm talking over the 100-meter hurdles. Plus, she's phenomenal over the flat 100. So when we look at athletes like them, and then, of course, we talk about Kemba Nelson, not as young as the names that I've called already, but still looking to step into that fold as well. An athlete that has already run 10.8, a 10.88 from, a Kemba Nelson. Then we go to Stacey. It's the 400 meters, but still, bordering that sub 50. And we're really looking for her because really we're not really going with nothing on the women's 400 meters as it stands right now. So we're really looking for her to really step into that fold as well and become a dominant force in the 400 meters for Jamaica as well. Now, on the across the pond, from an American perspective, Abby Steiner has been the talk of the town as well. She's gone 10.9 in the 100 meters, 21.77 in the 200 meters. Absolutely phenomenal athlete, but she as well, has had her, injury setbacks, crazy injury setbacks this season for her, and obviously not making her reach the biggest stage. And I'm talking about repping her country individually, even to the point where, Abby Steiner, had to go and do surgery, right, trackies? But with that said, looking at these particular athletes again, so we're talking about Tina, 10.95. What did she achieve this season? An 11.19. Then we go over to Tia, right? What did she achieve this season? Well, on the back of her 11.25, she ran a personal best 11.23. But it's not to the state where you're saying okay, because we're expecting a drastic dip from her. So that 11.25 or 23 is not what we were expecting from a Tia at this particular point. Then, of course, we jump on to Brianna Liston. She as well, she could only manage 23.05 this season in the 200 meters. Didn't even touch the 100 meters at all. Then Stacey started her season with a bang, but, everything turned left for her because she also ran a personal best in the 400 meters right at the beginning, 50.12, from her previous 50.14, but still it not really turning out the best for her this season. Then we have Kemba Nelson again. She again at 10.888 could only manage, at 11.10 this season. And then Kerrica Hill started off with a bang as well. Personal best in the women's 100 meters, it 12.75, but it not materializing again into better results, further on down in the season as a result of injuries. And the same thing as I said for, Abby Steiner. So when I look at it collectively, track is there's one thing about all of these athletes, that stick out as like a sore thumb to me as it relates to these athletes, and the one thing is they are transitioning. Right, that is what sticks out to me. Some people may argue maybe if Tina and T had stayed in high school, they'll be seeing, similar times to what they've been seeing, the year before. However, when you take into consideration that these athletes have now changed programs, so yes, quite a few of them, some of them are college athletes, but they've gone pro. Some of them high school athletes, and they've gone pro, which means that track is they're working with a whole new coach, which means a whole new program, plus a whole new program for their bodies to adjust to, which is most important, which is one of the reasons that in my mind, because honestly, at the end of the day, I'm not going to know the full 1, 2, 3 as it relates to why these athletes really picked up an injury. But when I look at them, throw them all into a little, bottle and shake them up, I'm like, well, new program, body have to adjust, body, needs to acclimatize to the new rigors of training. And as such, it's going to take a while for this to happen. And in that process, track is the body will break down to rebuild itself and get stronger again, for these particular athletes. So yes, very, very torrid season, but it is expected. Should we be counting them out going forward into the future just because, they're currently transitioning? No. It's the same thing I will say what I said in the the Brianna Williams video that I did earlier when I talked about her ending her season. At this particular point, we need to start exhibiting, some patience. I'm not gonna lie, Shakis, I wasn't the most patient. I've grown a lot in the sport since, starting this channel. I wasn't the most patient when, considering what the athletes were going through, right? But the more I'm in it is the more I'm understanding that, we need to exhibit some, patience as it relates to these athletes. And of course, our expectations, everything is not just going to happen snap, snap like that. Yes, you're going to have the athletes that, it happens to, but when you look at the athletes that this really happens to, it's just, one or two, you know what I mean? For the majority of the athletes, it takes a time or a while for them to transition to that senior level or into that professional level. So with that said, track is a torrid season, as I said, for the athletes, but please exhibit, again, some patience and look out for these athletes in the coming seasons. Again, we're definitely still looking out for them. And I have a few thoughts, individually on them, obviously. Well, I'll get into that a little later on. But for now, this is what happened to these particular athletes this season. And we should definitely exhibit some patience while they're transitioning. As usual, though, like the video and subscribe. And don't forget to sound off in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts as it relates to, did you chalk up these issues that our athletes, experience collectively due to, the transitioning period that the athletes, are currently going through with their bodies? Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.